Folks, Oxhorn Relay Station. Eat, drink, and be sorry. Better get with it, Miss Webster.
Can't face strange people when I look a-fright.
Well, I wouldn't fret about that none. You ain't back east now, you know. This here's Oxhorn, New Mexico territory.
Drink at the same bar with me. Move, you!
Museum. We grab culture by the foot and bring it right to you. You can't spell museum without you and me.
Weight loss journey and not sure what to eat, I struggled to get enough protein, iron, and greens to support building and repairing muscles. Then I tried Vega protein and greens and never looked back. This protein powder has not only 20 grams of protein for your gains and 25% of your daily iron, but it's loaded with kale, spinach, alfalfa, and broccoli. No bitter taste and no sugar. Every flavor hits just right. I like to drink the chocolate flavor plain with just water, and then I like to take the vanilla and blend it into a smoothie with some frozen strawberries. With no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives, you know you're putting something good into your body, and having that high protein diet during weight loss is so important and is exactly what my body needs to build and prepare after those tough workouts. Fuel your body with the best. Try Vega protein and greens.
A man your age should know guns are dangerous. Pick it up. Now holster it.
¿Qué tal, amigo?
Fine, Brigo.
I see you are still fast with your hands. Come, I buy you a drink and we talk.
If you're still thirsty, mister, you can have a drink with both of us.
Amigo!
You saw what happened.
I saw it. I also saw a man handle a gun like that in Texas.
You got pretty good eyesight.
His name was Ketchum. Friends of his called him Blackjack. No offense. You're in the clear. Nobody's going to blame you. Except his brother, of course.
And who's that?
Jared Tetlow, owner of the 4T brand. Largest cattle spread on the Carrizoza. Jared won't rest till he sees your hide nailed to his fence.
I wasn't looking for trouble. I've had enough of it.
Then you better clear out for some quiet country. It's already shaken down law and order.
You can find law and order in a town, all right. It's a little harder to find it in the people.
blackjack. No one follows.
Not yet. Another score to settle. It'll come.
It does not need to be, amigo. Across the desert, over the mountains beyond the Ruidoso, there is a valley, a green and peaceful valley.
Anything peaceful sounds good to me.
They are old friends who sent me to bring you, Senor Riordan and Nita. You would not disappoint them, would you?
How's she look, Brigham?
She is still very young, senor, and beautiful, the way you remember her. And she is like your valet, waiting for a good owner for his casa.
Briga, the new Casa del Rancho is nearly finished.
See, Senor Ketchum has worked hard and long.
He's a very stubborn man.
Chiquita, I wish you would not do this.
He's been here for over a year. How long does a man have to wait to be sure his past isn't going to catch up with him?
But Nita... Ay de mí.
Thanks.
Almost finished?
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Stock my range with cattle. Nail my brand over the gate.
You've forgotten two important things. Curtains at the windows, smoke coming out the kitchen chimney.
You still want to put them there?
When do I start, Tom?
Are we going to tango on that again? Look, Nita, my guns were around for a long time. It'll take more than a year for a lot of people to forget it.
Now, you weren't a murderer, not a hired gun.
Yeah, but I made enemies. Sooner or later, there'll be trouble.
Nothing we couldn't handle.
If I could give you that guarantee, you could start putting those curtains up tomorrow.
Tom, nobody ever gets that kind of a guarantee. I'm not asking for it. No woman asks for it.
Then maybe women should have more sense. A woman ties onto a man for life. She shouldn't have to feel every time the sun comes up she might be a widow.
All right. Couldn't put it any plainer.
Give it time, Nita. For the sake of both of us.
All right, Tom. As long as you don't put your brand on some other hide.
Comes into a town, he sure wants everybody to know it.
Jared Tetlow. You know him?
Handled some law cases for him. Not every man in the territory knew Jared. I'm glad to introduce you.
Do me a favor, Bob. Don't.
That's the way you want it.
Mr. Tom Ketchum. What brings you to our fair city?
Business, Mac.
Well, any special business? You know, you show yourself so rarely. It's an item for my newspaper anytime you come to Horseshoe.
No, I'm here to buy up some cattle for my new range. Might be in town for several days.
Fine, fine. We'll spread the word and get you some offers. You know, our circulation covers Horseshoe Valley 100%.
Thanks, Mac.
Morning, Mr. Ketchum. Are things up your way?
Oh, we're going fine, thanks, Sheriff.
That's all I wanted to know.
I say curse the Horseshoe Valley. I cursed the very day that I came into it.
Dr. Blaine's leaving us tomorrow.
And tomorrow never comes.
I haven't had a patient in 2 weeks. The last one I had was dead on arrival. He fell off his horse in front of a stampede, and it took the hooves of 1,000 steers to kill him. Now, what can a doctor do in a country like the Horseshoe? There's a curse on the place, I tell you. A curse on our clear water, our good soil, a curse on our good health.
Yeah, too bad about us, Doc.
Yes, sir, too bad. And on top of all that, another piece of hard luck is coming your way. The curse of added prosperity. A big monthly payroll is going to be spent in your town. And besides those cowboy dollars, you're going to have the business of a big cattle outfit. The necessary buying in of supplies and services for the 4T. Yes, sir, there's better times coming to every one of you. And you'll thank Jared Tetlow, that's me, for putting more jingle in your pockets.
And what do you want, Mr. Tetlow?
Only my rightful use of some of your open range. I'm traveling ahead of a large herd, mostly feeders and young stuff.
How many?
5,000 head, and 3 more herds like it on the way.
Right now, the horseshoe is stocked with all the cattle it can reasonably carry. Put 20,000 more on it. That's calling for 100,000 acres of grass that isn't there.
Gentlemen, it's open range.
Not all of it anymore. Most of the quarter sections with good water have been homesteaded. So you'd have a water problem, Mr. Tetlow, as well as a grazing problem.
But it is open range. I'm within my legal rights, huh, Sheriff?
But overgrazing will ruin that open range and the herds on it, including yours. Why don't you go further east and try the Carazozo country?
We just came from there. The water played out. I can't turn my herd back now. Horseshoe Valley's the end of the line. Here I am. Here I stay.
Welcome to Horseshoe House, Mr. Tetlow. I'm Happy Harrow, the proprietor, at your service.
I want a room for my brothers, one for myself, and a sitting room to do business in.
I'm awfully sorry, sir, but the commercial suite is occupied right now by regular customers.
Put them out.
Now, Mr. Tetlow...
Shut up. When my brother gives an order, it goes. Of course, the gentleman should be paid for the trouble of vacating his rooms. Give him what he wants and charge it to our account.
Yes, sir, I'll do that. I'll butter him up.
All right, Ben. You don't want to play the game my way, I'll try it your way. Mind if I join you, gentlemen? I'll order later. No, I hadn't finished speaking my piece to you folks out there. I was going to add I'm perfectly willing to buy my way onto the Horseshoe Range. Your friend here have a ranch?
Yes, but his place is pretty far out.
Huh? Good water on it?
Sir?
How many head will it graze?
Only a couple of thousand.
What do you want for it?
It's not for sale.
Name your price, then we'll dicker.
I told you. It's not for sale.
Oh. Well, if I can't buy one place, I'll buy others. I'm perfectly willing to pay cash for 2, 3 homesteads. Spread the word for me, Mr. Early.
Be back in just a moment, Jim. Hello, Laurie. I didn't expect to see you here. Would you like to have some lunch with us?
Oh, thanks, Uncle Bob, but I've eaten. The man in black. Do you know him?
Very well.
I'd like to meet him.
Mr. Early, may I see you a moment?
Of course. Excuse me, Laurie.
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry to be at a disadvantage.
But of course you are. You know me, but not my name. I'm Laurie Webster. I arrived a few days ago from Santa Fe. I'm going to live with my uncle, Mr. Bob Early.
How do you do, Miss Webster? This is Mr. Jared Tetlow.
How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Tetlow? I hope you'll forgive me for interrupting, but remember we met once before?
Well, it's quite possible, Miss Webster. I hope your trip from Santa Fe wasn't too hard.
It was a year ago, in front of the relay station at Oxhorn, on the Carazozo. Now do you remember?
Well, if I caused you any embarrassment then, I apologize, and I hope you'll consider the matter closed.
Laurie.
But I'm the one who should apologize. Can you ever forgive me? To have it happen right before my eyes. That was awful. But now I do understand, and I don't blame you.
Thank you, Miss Webster. Shall we just forget it?
Very sage advice, Laurie.
Of course. But you see, I just arrived from the East, and, well, I didn't know about such things. All I knew was I'd been forced to see a man shot down and killed.
I know what you mean, Miss Webster. It's never pleasant to see a man shot down, especially when he doesn't deserve it.
Oh, but this one did. That's why I had to apologize to Mr.
Ketchum. Tom Ketchum. I wanted no trouble that way. But a man can't always choose the way things go.
Excuse me. I've changed my mind about lunch. Interesting to meet you, Miss Webster. And Mr. Ketchum.
Yes?
You'll hear from me later.
Sorry, Tom.
Did I do something wrong?
It's bound to come out sooner or later. We'll have that lunch another day, Bob.
Sit down, Laurie.
You're angry.
You just pointed out Tom Ketchum to Jared Tetlow is the man who killed Tetlow's brother.
Oh, Uncle Bob. Mr. Ketchum, I'm terribly sorry. My uncle just told me what an awful thing I've done.
I'm not used to having people worry about me. Thanks for that.
You're very kind for putting it like that. Will you forgive me?
Just forget it. Tell your uncle I'll be seeing him soon.
Tom? Who was that?
Laura Webster, Bob Early's niece. She was at Oxhorn last year when I had to shoot Burl Tetlow. Now his brother's here.
You better stay away from him.
Too late. Girl talks too much. She just identified me to Jared Tetlow as the man who killed his brother. He's got his other two brothers with him and a small army of hired guns on their way here with his cattle. He means to buy or bull his way onto the Horseshoe Range. But I'm staying put.
Is this the kind of trouble you were talking about?
I'll leave that up to Tetlow.
Blackjack.
Nobody in this town's called me anything but Tom. How long have you known?
All alone, but it doesn't change things.
Thanks.
Telegram just came to the noon stage. Says the first Tetlow herd just crossed our county line.
Morning, sir. I can report the herd on time in good coat and condition.
Where's D. Havlick?
He's coming.
Howdy, boss. What's the news from town?
Pretty important to you and me. I nailed down the man that killed Burl. Blackjack Ketchum.
Where do I find him?
He'll keep. Practically promised he would. Right now, our first concern is where to spot the herd.
You were going to locate some grass and water.
Well, there's no grass problem yet, but there is water. I tried to get water rights the easy way. Now I'll have to do it the hard way.
Jared, listen to me.
Ben, I've tried your methods. They don't work.
Granted. But don't start a range war on a snap decision. Now, hear me out.
All right, Ben. We'll all listen to you.
Now, I know we've been all over this before. There have been a few things that haven't been said yet.
Such as?
The importance of friends. The little men we're going to pluck have already made their friends. But being strangers, we'll have none of our own.
With all the men we've got and the biggest payroll in the territory, we don't need friends.
What we need is action. And it's being forced on us. Look yonder. There's our problem. What are we going to do with them? And where are we going to put them? And what are we going to do for water?
Well, about a mile from here, there's a lake. Pretty good size and it's deep enough for dry spells. The homesteader's a man named Carson. We'll make him an offer. Maybe he's tired of bachelor alone.
And what if he isn't?
We'll try to persuade him. And we'll take D. Havlick along in case this Carson goes in the prod. And you, Andy, and you too, Ben. It's time you got over Mom's notions and learned how men get things done. We'll go see this nester.
gents. Light and eat. Coffee's on the stove. We got beefsteaks to burn. That is, if you like 'em that way.
Carson, how much do you want for this place?
This here? I don't aim to sell. First field home I ever had. Well, it ain't much to look at, but we've been happy here, me and my wife. Why,
You're wasting time. How much? Come on, speak up. Name your price.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value Branding. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
I can't sell my place. The money can't buy it.
I'll give you $1,000 cash and a horse to ride out of the valley.
You'll give me nothing. I ain't taking orders from you nor any man. Why, who do you think you are? Come riding through my front yard here and trampling down my wife's flowers? Now get off the place.
You got one more chance. $1,000 and a horse to get out of the country.
Will you get off peaceable, or do I have to throw you off? Hold it, Carson. You're looking for a fight. I'm your man. You're too big for your britches.
Speaking of britches, yours are coming down. Huh?
Thank you, boss. Found money.
Don't try to add it to your 30 years savings. I want that money spent in a horseshoe tomorrow. And not just for liquor. Sweeten up the merchants and the town in general. And while you're doing that, I don't mind if you have a little trouble with the local cowboys and ranchers. Learn them there's a new boss moving in this range. Learn them. Proper. Sheriff Macy.
1 minute, gentlemen.
I'm Jared Tetlow.
Met you at the hotel.
I own the 4T outfit. We are law-abiding. We do things legally. We brought in a man named of Carson.
Yeah. Rather poor condition, I'd say. How come?
My foreman, Mr. D. Havlick, was forced to shoot this man in self-defense.
Any witnesses?
Myself and my two brothers, and they will so swear, and that should end the regrettable incident. Andy, raise your right hand. The sheriff will swear you in as a witness.
Tedlow, if you're so legal, you ought to know I can't clear your man Havlik. Only a coroner's jury can do that. At an official inquest.
Well, under the circumstances, that seems like an unnecessary formality.
Yeah, and I ain't wasting my time listening to some jury tell me a lot of stuff I already know. Besides, Carson got no more lead than he asked for.
Did I hear you refuse to appear before the coroner's jury?
Well, you ain't deaf, are you?
No, Mr. Havlik. And you are now under arrest.
Arrest? Arrest me? Why, in the first place, you're not man enough to arrest me. And in the second place, no 4T hand ever done a day in jail.
And in the third?
My outfit would pull this hoosgow down around your ears.
That's hard treatment for a man who's only trying to do his sworn duty. See that gate? I'll give you 1 minute to walk through it. Lay your guns on my desk. And enter this cell. Times are changing, Mr. Hamilton. You hired gunmen are on short notice now. You can no longer kill as you please and get away with it.
Now, that's real interesting to hear. But I'd admire to see you back that up with a little action.
Morning, Sheriff.
Your minute is up, Mr. Havlik.
Okay, D. It's your own fault. If you want to find out what the sheriff was made of, well, you'll learn.
I'll have a coroner's jury impaneled by 3 p.m. The inquest will be held in the largest room in town, the Palace Bar. I'll take your word to be there. I believe that concludes our business, gentlemen.
For the moment.
Mr. Tedlow. Where's Steve?
The sheriff's got him locked up, waiting inquest by a coroner's jury.
A 14-man in jail? We ought to go in and talk things over with that sheriff.
And learn him the error of his ways.
You'll do nothing of the sort. I want D. Havlik freed by that coroner's jury, fair and square.
Well, how fair and how square?
Well, I don't mean a packed jury or a bought jury. What I mean is a jury of towners.
Without no cattlemen on it, nor ranchers?
That's the idea. The local cowmen have become prejudiced against the 4T and should be kept off the jury in the best interests of justice.
You mean you could have given them a free rein?
The 4T brand represents progress and power. Ordinary people are afraid of power, and these townspeople are just ordinary. I want them scared. Not shot, no guns, but scared. I suggest you give the town an example of 4T power, just in case their idea of justice is misguided.
Sure, boss. The biggest outfit is entitled to the biggest justice.
They're scattered. Guess you won't need me anymore.
You can do me another favor. Go out and round up a coroner's jury.
That's your job, Sheriff.
Anybody special you'd like to see on the jury?
No. I wouldn't stack that jury for this man or against him. Take them as they come.
I'll do that. Exactly that.
One thing I would ask, whether you get him off the range or behind a store counter, a clean-shaved, sober, respectable jury. We owe him that much.
Facial expressions are not the greatest when I work out, but the greatest decision I have made when it comes to my workout goals has been switching to Vega Sport Protein. I promise this is the #1 alternative to whey protein because it's clean, it's made with 0 fillers, 0 added sugar, and it's lactose and dairy free. Every morning after I work out, I let the tart cherry do its thing with muscle recovery while I enjoy the creamy vanilla flavor before I go into full mom mode.
Give me 17 cents on Bitcoin.
Paying with Cash App Card feels pro because you have roundups turned on. Get the Cash App Card. Hell yeah.
They wrote
wrote it down. They did it on purpose.
I'd say they did it under orders. They're trying to scare any jury we get before it reaches the inquest.
Where are those Rough Riders?
I told you he was a tough one. Take more than that to kill you, man. Where'd they go? What'd they look like?
Tell him, Dad.
Don't tell him. Get him out of town. Get him home.
Rico will take that home. I'm staying for the inquest. I want to see if Mr. Tetlow can get away with murder.
I've seen scared faces in all out of towns. And this town's got its share.
What are we going to do about it, Tom?
Let's see if we can't give this town some of the backbone it needs.
Hi, partner. Sociable, Jenny. 4T hand gives him a friendly salute, and he don't even return the courtesy. We ought to teach him some manners. Turn around, mister. I said turn around. See if he can handle two men the same way, Red.
Yeah.
What goes on here?
You know what goes on here, Tetlow? You sent your hoodlums in here to scare us out of giving D. Havlik what he deserves. I just want you to know that all of us can't be scared. And I want you to tell that to D. Havlik if he goes free today. Well, Mr. Tetlow, hold your hand. What are you going to do about it?
I came to this town in a peaceful way, Ketchum. I didn't come here for shooting. And I'm not going to draw on a professional killer.
It didn't stop you from hiring one like Havlik. All right, Tetlow. Your outfit knows what kind of a man they work for now. A man who can order killing, but who hasn't got guts enough to face up to it himself.
Why didn't you back me up? If I'd made a movie that killed you, quick as he killed Burl. Get every single man we've got here before the inquest. I want him in the street outside the Palace Saloon. We'll find out how scared a town can get.
The drinks are on the boss! Havlik ain't guilty!
You ought to know, Miss Reardon. The only time there's any law and order is when there's more of it than anything else. This time there was more of Jared Tetlow.
Like Mr. Tetlow said, gentlemen, he's brought us prosperity. My take's doubled since he come to Horseshoe. Town's making money.
You don't seem to realize that your town floats on a sea of grass. When that grass is ruined by crowding too many cattle on it, this town will sink into bankruptcy.
Sure, grass is important to a rancher. So's my life important to me. So why should I risk it by fighting another man's war?
So you'd stand by and see men murdered?
Are you saying I'm yellow?
Let's not fight among ourselves, gentlemen.
Well, I'm not in favor of cutting my own throat. So if you're fixing to lock horns with Mr. Tetlow and his 4T riders, well, you can just leave me out of it.
I'd suggest that anyone who agrees with Mr. Harrow should use that door he left open.
That should tell us where we stand. Those of us still left, we gotta stick together. But we can't do anything until we organize. You're the man to start it off, Sheriff.
My hands are tied. I'm sworn to enforce the law without favor to any faction. If you're right, I'll help you. But I can't organize you.
There's only one other man among us with any fighting experience. I suggest we put ourselves under the orders of Mr. Ketchum.
Tetlow called me a professional killer. You sure you want to ride behind that kind of reputation?
Your guns have never been for hire. If they were, the law would have known it. These men could do a lot worse than back you up.
I'd like to hear them say it.
I've already said it.
I'll even say it in print.
Doc?
As a doctor, some people have even called me a professional killer. Tom, you have me for whatever I'm worth.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I've come to see you about taking over the Clarkson homestead.
Sort of in a hurry, aren't you?
No, my stock needs water. I'll contract to buy the place and put up a cash bond for the full price.
Well, sir, I'd have to look up the law about a deal like that.
I can advise the sheriff regarding the law. If Jerry Carson left a will, it'll have to be probated. If he didn't, an administrator must be appointed by the court. And a diligent search made for the heirs, if any.
Oh? Well, I didn't especially want that particular property anyway.
The sudden death of an owner can keep his real estate off the market for a long, long time. Remember that in the future, Mr. Tetlow.
It won't be important to me. Who's on this location?
The Double R.
I didn't ask for the name of the brand. Who are the owners?
Number 42, Mr. Matthew Reardon. Number 43, his daughter, Miss Nita Reardon. They're not interested in selling out.
I'll take their word for it when I see them. Now, sir, I think you've got something that belongs to one of my men.
Hello, Blackjack. It's a long memory you got.
Glad you appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't know how good I was myself till I heard you telling the boys at the inquest how many men I'd killed. It's a fine reputation you give me. 11 men? That's quite a record. Hard to top it. But I'd like to make it an even dozen next time I meet up with you.
All right, Hadley. That's my spread. That's where I'll be. But don't count on making any easy money.
I'm not. This one's for Burl Tetlow, my buddy. This one's on me.
Good day, gentlemen.
The infernal arrogance.
Tetlow has an army of men. How can we possibly stop them?
Except for the few of us here, the rest of the town is Buffalo, right?
Unfortunately.
Terrorized by only 7 men.
7?
Most of Tetlow's riders are just regular cowpunchers. I counted only 6 top gun hands, with B. Havlick the top hand of them. Those 7 are our main worry.
And you plan to take on all 7?
Not in any way they expect, no. All we can expect to do is to cut down on the odds. If that happens, then we've got a chance to organize.
What do we do in the meanwhile?
Protect the Reardons and the Double R from Tetlow. I may have to be away from town for a while.
Don't worry about the Reardons. Matt and Nita won't be alone.
If and when I come back, that's where we'll meet, the Double R.
If he gets back. That's what he said.
Maybe that's the difference between an amateur and a professional. A professional knows he can make only one mistake.
Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell him I'm next. Tell him you find a little something fresh, I know.
He's coming.
Tetlow?
See, with his brothers and 6 riders. 9 in all.
All right, Ben. We'll try it your way one more time.
Afternoon, Mr. Reardon. Afternoon, Mr. Tetlow. In case you're interested, the Double R is not for sale.
But I haven't even made you an offer yet.
Won't do you no good, son.
But, Mr. Reardon, I know you don't like us. I wouldn't like any offer that put me on a cane either. But we're sorry about that accident. We were here to offer you compensation.
How much?
10,000. with the Double R brand and its holdings thrown in.
Nothing doing.
15,000?
Same answer.
Look, Mr. Reardon, you're not selling out. You can tell your friend you had a part with the Double R to get compensation for your injuries. So you name your own figure. Up to 20,000.
The Double R is not for sale, and neither are the owners.
Before you make up your mind, Reardon, I'm going to talk to you like one cowman to another.
All right, speak your piece.
When a herd of cattle get dry and thirsty, you can't keep them away from water.
Meaning you won't keep your herds away from my water.
Also, range stock has a habit of bunching up where they find good forage for grazing.
Now I'll tell you something. Try the open range all you please, but keep your cattle under control. And keep them off the private property of the Double R. That's an order from the owners.
Mr. Reardon, stay where you are. I'm not through with you.
I'd say you were through, Mr. Tetlow. I'll give you 1 minute to start riding.
Come on, Miss Reardon. I don't want any trouble with the woman. And you better not make the mistake of forcing it on me.
Jared! Reardon, I've given you time to think over my offer. You better take it.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, Nita.
How's your leg?
Not bad.
I was just thinking we needed a lawyer, especially one with some gun hands.
Blackjack's the one who organized this mutual aid society. Figured we could give Tetlow an argument any place he wanted to start one.
You come looking for trouble too, Miss Webster?
Well, I insisted on coming.
Yeah. Said it wasn't fair to you to dump these men on you without somebody to help you feed them and do for them.
Well, seems like I owe you an apology. Come on in. Just one thing. Why didn't Tom come with you?
Oh, he's gone away for a few days. That's what Uncle Bob told me, and no more.
Come on, Doc. Mr. Early. Rigo will take the team.
All right, Blackjack. Come on out. Come on out! Come and get me!
What are you waiting for?
We're getting low on water.
Our man's right ahead of us and you're thirsty, huh?
Gone without no sleep and hardly no grub. But I don't intend to go without water.
You want to argue it? Do any of you want to argue it?
Double back on his own trail. The oldest trick in the book.
I'll learn the trick that ain't in the book. He didn't realize this gulch leads right straight back up to his hideout. And it's deep enough to give us some cover for some good shooting. Bade, you stay here, keep him pinned down. The rest of you come with me, help me get him. Come on! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Drop your rifle. Put your hat down over your eyes. Now drop your gun belt. pull your hat up and come on down.
The rifle cost me 2 months' pay.
That's too bad.
What do you aim to do with me?
I'm going to show you what kind of a man you're riding for. You and the rest of your crowd. You're going to learn something about D. Hadlick.
Advocate Healthcare makes it simple to get primary care that fits your life.
The City of Miami Gardens presents ITG Music Fest. New edition. Tony Braxton, DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Live, starring Ja Rule, Fat Joe, and Remy Ma. Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. Escape, Coco Jones, Cam. Also, a special set featuring Miss Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, YG Marley, Busta Rhymes, Doechii, and many more. ITG Music Fest, March 8th and 9th at Hard Rock Stadium. Visit jazzinthegardens.com.
You wanted a manhunt, didn't you?
He's gone. What happened to you?
You should have left me a man to guard the rear.
Don't blame me. What are you, a baby? What do you want us to do? Bottle nurse you from our canteens? No gun, no horse. What good are you? Go on back to the 4T, Spade. Get going now.
On foot? With no water? I'd be dead before sundown.
You don't mean that, D. The man wouldn't have a chance.
You want to make something of it? Want to leave your canteen here and go with them? You want to go for your gun?
You know you're faster on the draw than I am.
All right, then shut your trap and obey orders. Spade, get moving.
All right, D. I'll go. And I hope I get through. For just one reason. I want to be there when Black Jack Ketchum blows your guts out. Thanks. I didn't want it the long, slow way. I asked for it. You asked for it, too. Ketchum will nail you. He's faster than you.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Everything's quiet.
Where's my canteen?
About time I thanked you, I guess. You had a chance to run out, but you stayed.
Well, maybe I had to prove a few things to myself, too.
Such as?
Well, it's one thing to say you'd like to stay in this kind of country, but it's another thing to be able to.
Think you'll make it?
I don't know. I'm hoping I will.
Well, that's half of it.
Where are you going?
Looking around?
Alone at night?
I know my own range.
Oh, but there may be Tetlow men riding it.
All cats look gray in the dark. I'll just be another rider.
Well, at least take Brigo with you.
He's busy. Look, don't worry. I've been over this land 100 times at night. You'll be doing things like that, too, if you stay. Keep an eye on things.
Checking on the cattle.
You know what I was going to tell you? Jared, that herd is crowded. It's hungry, it's thirsty, and spooked.
Shoots me right down the ground.
And speaking of ground, they're on top of a natural chute. Well, once they stampede, we'll never control them.
We won't even try. That chute leads straight down the double R.
Jared, for the last time.
I know what you're going to say, I know. I'm telling you this, if anybody gets hurt, so much the better. It'll be legal. Now check your riders. Make sure every man's out of the chute.
Start the cattle running!
Get hooked up with Cash App Card. Just add an offer and save instantly when you pay.
Looks like allergy season is back. Time to start saving on your prescriptions. Another good reason to check GoodRx.
Doing about last night, Ben. We're in the clear. Cattle stampede and no man can control them.
Reardon won't sell out now. Not for any amount of money.
Of course not. If the other ranches will take the hint, we'll get all the water right. rights we need.
And in the meantime, Matt Reardon will sue you for every cent you've got.
Let him.
Mr. Tedlow, the other day your men rode my father down in the street. And last night you finished the job. You murdered him.
I didn't know there'd been an accident.
There was no accident. You started that stampede deliberately.
That's pretty strong.
You think I can't prove it?
I'm sure you can't.
I suspected something when you didn't want your men to quiet the herd. When you wanted your cattle nervous and spooked.
That's some ice in my room.
I couldn't help it.
You must not take the law into your own hands.
The law. That's it, Brico.
We will get the advice of Senor Early.
I don't want advice. I want action.
You can't fight one man only. You've got to fight his friends and his women folk. And their friends and their women.
You haven't got the guts for it, Ben. Get out.
No, Jared, no. No, you're my brother and this is my outfit. Right or wrong.
You figure I'm wrong, don't you?
Just the same, I'm sticking. You know, Jared, that's the trouble. You do command loyalty. But when you go down, you're gonna take a lot of men with you. And some of them mighty good men.
Who is it? Let him in. Well? What's the matter? Can't you talk?
My tongue swelled.
You failed. I told you I had to have Ketchum's hide.
He knew the country. We didn't.
For 6 men, you could have put a ring around him.
That was only 2.
What happened to the other 4?
Still out there.
You mean to say you lost 4 of my best hands for
just
nothing?
about the-
You're being a fool! Who did you have to kill? My own man, Jared! I reckon it was my fault. I thought I was hiring the best gun hand in the country. I got second best.
Where'll I find Jared Tetlow?
Commercial suite upstairs.
Thanks, Harold.
What do you expect me to do? Stay out there and burn to death?
Ketchum had water. Why didn't you take it away?
Because I don't.
Give me any excuse or explanations. All I want is your gun should be of some use to me. Who is it?
Morning, gentlemen. Tetlow, I have a warrant for your arrest.
My arrest?
Charges are criminal conspiracy, malicious destruction of property, and the murder of Matthew Reardon.
That's ridiculous. It's a pack of lies from a crazy, spiteful girl.
You're forgetting I know Miss Reardon and her character pretty well myself.
And you're forgetting if I submit to arrest, there's people in this town who think there's something to those charges. You want to consider the matter closed?
I want you, sir.
Sheriff, Mr. Tetlow made you a suggestion. I'm advising you to take it and back down.
And I'm advising you not to interfere with an officer doing his duty.
Back down or reach. pockets. He was reaching. He forced my hand.
We'd only have covered you, and I could have talked us out of it. But no, you had to kill the law.
What are you beefing about?
If you don't know, I'll explain it to you. The law was our protection against the people we tromped on. As long as we had the law, the worst they could do to us was serve a paper.
Learn more about Celebrity Cruises' latest offers.
Constant reminders of your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis can make it hard to be there when it matters most. If your symptoms aren't under control, it may be time to talk to your doctor about #1 prescribed Entyvio. Entyvio has helped many people achieve long-term relief and remission. Doctors have been prescribing Entyvio for more than 10 years. Entyvio offers 2 maintenance options, including the Entyvio pen. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Ask your healthcare provider about Entyvio. Relief, remission, for real.
Entyvio, Entyvio, Entyvio.
Where's Nita?
At Uncle Bob's house. She's staying with us.
I just came from the Double R. How is she?
Oh, she wasn't hurt. She's calmed down quite a bit. She's not taking the loss of her father quite so hard.
Matt Reardon's dead.
He was caught in a stampede.
Stampede started by Tetlow.
Mr. Reardon had gone out to the windmill for water.
Never had a chance.
There's more. Sheriff Macy was just killed by D. Havlick.
Macy? Where was your uncle? Where were the rest of the men? Where are they now?
They're at the Palace Bar trying to form a committee.
Oigan, amigos! First it was Senor Carson, then my boss, my good Senor Reardon, and now our sheriff. All good men, all killed by these 4 teeth devils. Who will be next? Who will come with me? Who will face Senor Tetlow and his brothers and help me shoot them down? Senor Ketchum, you will come with us?
No, Brigo, and you're not going anywhere.
Do not try to stop me, senor.
I'm sorry, Brigo. Now listen to me. In order to shoot Jared Tetlow, you gotta get to him first. You'd all be riddled by the time you got halfway up the stairs.
You're right. Drink?
Water. I don't think I'll ever get enough again as long as I live.
You're not the only one got dried out. I hear Havlick came back to town with only 2 of his men left.
Yeah. Odds are more even now.
You're just in time to take over again.
What's this I hear about a committee you're getting up?
We're getting up. Plenty of men willing to fight. Tetlow put a stop to that.
He bought all the guns and ammunition in town. We got the men. He's got the firepower.
So, as long as...
Blackjack!
You left 4 men down the desert. One of them was my friend. The best hand that ever rode for Jared Tetlow. You never killed him fair. You sold his water. It was a yellow trick, Ketchum. Didn't you hear me? I said you were yellow. You deaf too, Blackjack?
Caramba. You never took such words before.
He just got into town. Maybe he knows something.
All right. What do you want?
Your boss bought up all the guns and ammunition in town. Where'd he take them?
I don't know.
I say you do. Where are they?
The chuck camp.
That's not good enough.
In the spring wagon. Box.
Thanks.
It won't do you any good. They're under guard.
Let's go.
Where you take?
What do you care? Keep moving. Keep them in there until morning.
Why?
Well, they can warn the 4T where we're going to hit them.
What about the gun, the ammunition?
We don't need any more than we have. We'll all meet back here at 1 o'clock this morning. And if anybody asks you where we're riding or for what, you can honestly say you don't know. Any questions? Well, I've got one. Where can I hole up and get some rest between now and midnight?
There's a couch in my office.
Thanks. I'll be on it as soon as I get through with the barbers. How long have you been sitting here?
About 2 hours.
Why? What's so important?
A couple of people.
Oh, Nita. There's no time to talk.
Tomorrow we could all be dead. Like my father.
I'm sorry about Matt. He was a good man.
Dad always said, if you want a thing bad enough, try and get it any way you can. As long as you don't hurt anyone.
Good advice.
Maybe it's good advice for both of us.
I didn't think so much of you. I'd say you were right. Men are getting ready to leave.
Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month. Deal ends February 28th.
So, we doing this?
If we do, there goes moving to Paris.
We were never moving to Paris. We got this.
We're buying a house.
We're buying a house.
Let's buy a house.
Order a croissant. You'll feel French.
I don't like croissants. Just donuts, fancy cousin. Can I get a croissant, please?
Did my best, but I couldn't find out a thing.
Like as not, they plan to haze my cattle off the Double R. They wouldn't be up to anything worse. They've still got the law and order habit. There's only one real hombre in the crowd.
Catch him?
Hadn't been for him, I'd have bulled my way onto this range by now. Biggest word in the language. If.
Jared, suppose I were to ride after him. Make him a peace offer.
No. I'm not buffaloed by anything he can do to me. If he tries to rouse my herd, the boys will be ready for him. And you'll take care of him. You wouldn't, Ben.
Well, I reckon I'll hit the sack.
Spread your blanket under the spring wagon and don't sleep too tight.
Don't worry, anybody gets near those guns, I'll know it. You gonna turn in?
Not yet. There's something in the air and it bothers me. Cat'll feel it too. I think I'll take one more check on my Nighthawks.
Don't let him get spooky.
Curly, if a critter tries to leave the bunch, let him go. Don't try and chouse him back. You might start some.
Drop your gun, senor.
Senor Tedlow?
Now we take you for a walk, huh?
Walk? You crazy? Who are you?
Who am I? I am the man who's going to stop you from warning your brothers that their cattle is going to stampede. Now we have been introduced, so we take a walk. Hey, come back, you loco. The cattle is going to run any minute.
Still haven't got away.
Yeah. It's probably breaking the bad news to Tetlow. Find me a box of 45s, will you, Mac?
Yeah. Here you are.
Thanks. Bob, we're gonna need these guns and cartridges. Better reload the wagon and bring it when you follow me back into town.
Follow you?
Oh, when Tetlow hears about this, he'll be back here so his men can protect him. We don't want that. I'll go on ahead and pin him down in his hotel room. And the rest of you can move in and finish the job.
Good luck. Well, like I told you, they stampeded right through our camp. Scattered them all over the valley.
Turned my own weapon against me. Anybody hurt?
Yeah, Andy.
Yeah. How bad?
About 1,000 head dropped open. He was caught right out in the open, right in the middle of the stampede.
How come? Andy could ride. Always had the best horse.
Not when he wasn't riding. Not when he had no horse under him. Another thing, we couldn't find his gun. Andy'd have gone down shooting if he'd had his gun.
Foot. Out in the open. It's the way Matt Reardon went down.
That doesn't justify killing Andy. If you'd have gotten Ketchum, this wouldn't have happened. He didn't set off that stampede just to see the cattle run. His crowd will be back. If we fight here, we're outnumbered and outgunned. And if we don't fight, Early will slap that warrant on me and hold you for the inquest or the sheriff. We're in plenty deep, haven't we?
I'll shoot my way out.
Think of something. Ben, it's going to be a hard day. You go down to the dining room and tell Happy Hair I'll fix some breakfast.
Yeah, but
you heard me. Dee, there's something you have to do.
Mr. Harrow? Oh, what's the chance for some breakfast, huh?
Well, the coffee's ready.
Where's the cook?
He quit like everybody else. Maybe you noticed lately, nobody eats or drinks here except a few travelers and the Tetlow outfit. Your brother sure put a crimp in my business.
Sit down. I want to talk to you.
What's on your mind, Mr. Tetlow?
You. What kind of a hotel keeper are you? Let a girl come to your bar and insult your best customer.
You ought to make allowances, Mr. Tetlow. Of course, she was all work.
You heard what Nita Riordan said to me.
Yeah?
You did?
Well, not all of it. I wasn't really listening. I wouldn't remember too much of what she was saying. Yeah.
Just a minute. One more question. Who's the U.S. Marshal for this federal district?
Colonel Monroe. He's the United States Marshal. Colonel J. L. Monroe. You'll have to excuse me. I'm short of help. I got a lot of things to do.
Hello! Who's going for the federal marshal?
You have to kill him to keep the marshal from coming to Horseshoe.
That's about the size of it.
But why, Jared? Because you're afraid to stand trial in the federal district court? Or were you afraid that Nita Riordan's testimony would convict you of murder?
She'll never tell it.
Did you send Haviland to kill the Riordan girl? Did you?
Tetlow! Stick that gun in your belt and be quick about it. Now step into the bar.
Please, Abbott.
Don't argue.
Were you left me?
Looking for me, weren't you?
Good D. Havlik.
With a gun in your hand?
He's got to be stopped before he meets up with Nita Riordan.
So your spare change goes into this tube and turns into Bitcoin.
Hell yeah.
Give me 17 cents on Bitcoin.
Round up spare change into savings stocks or Bitcoin when you use your Cash App card.
Hydrating wet, shine. Up to 12-hour hydration. Infused with vitamins.
She's safe for the moment.
Is she? Haviland.
Staked out. He's got cover.
Any of your boys in town?
10, maybe a dozen.
Keep them off me. Give me a free hand.
Boys, now keep out of it.
Lordy!
Señor Connolly, manos arriba! Holster your gun! Put your hands up!
It's okay, Blackjack. We've got him. Put your hands up.
The best killer money could buy.
I'd like to have a talk with you two gentlemen if you can spare the time. Come into my office.
Come on, Tetlow. Have to lock you up till the U.S. Marshal takes charge of you.
Miss Reardon, Miss Webster, this has been Tetlow.
Miss Reardon, I want you especially to hear what I have to say. My brother's given me complete charge of everything. I want to call off this cattle war. I never wanted it in the first place.
How about the damage your outfit has done?
Our cattle ought to compensate to some extent.
You leave us the 4T herd?
Well, we can't drive them back over the dry Carazozos. I'm sorry this will leave you with a crowded range, but, well, it can't be helped.
My range will handle 2,000 head of them.
I'm warning you. They're in pretty sorry condition.
I've seen them. They're worth at least $5 a head. I'll give you $10,000 for them if you'll parcel it out to the others who were hurt by the 4T.
It's a deal.
Thanks, Open. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
See you later. I want to talk to you. I've got some man talk to take care of first. Now? Now.
Too bad you weren't the oldest, Tetlow. It would have made a difference.
Tom! Woman shouldn't chase a man who doesn't look respectable.
Never stopped you before.
Are you expecting any more old enemies to pop up?
Nobody we couldn't handle.
Oh. What color curtains would you like? Never mind.
Looks like allergy season is back. Time to start saving on your prescriptions. Another good reason to check GoodRx.
Ay, 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 canta en honores, porque que andando se alegra cielito, linda la 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 lira, la 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 lera, la 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 lira.
Hola! Oh, pardon, senor. I did not know anyone was here this early. You would like something?
Coffee. Black.
We have excellent huevos.
No way. Just coffee.
With the coffee, some break for the nerves?
Amigo.
Si.
Coffee. Pronto.
Si, senor. Si. I did not mean to offend the senor, but I cannot run my cantina when a man does not put something at the table besides his elbows.
Like that?
Ah, gracias, senor. But it is too much. You are looking for work around here?
Just passing through.
Ah, you like cigars? Un momento. I give you some fine ones.
Oh, thanks. That clock right?
Si.
Time I'm on my way.
Oh, no, senor. You cannot go outside in the street now. It is dangerous.
Why?
There is to be a gunfight between an Americano named Tranges and a man they call Domino.
How do you know?
The man in the telegraph station is my brother-in-law. This Domino sent the telegram for this Tranges to meet him on the street here at 8 o'clock this morning. You might get hurt, senor.
So I might.
Oh, no, senor. Please, huh? Please, senor. You must stay inside. They say this Domino is a very bad one.
Don't believe everything you hear about me.
But, senor, there is...
Suppose you stay inside.
Domino! Caramba!
Should be.
Senor Domino, why you kill that man?
Ask him.
I'm not going to put just any protein in my body. Orgain's 30-gram, ready-to-drink chocolate protein shake has no artificial flavors or sweeteners and ultra-filtered premium protein. I think this is Orgain's best product yet.
Bally's Chicago Casino, where legends are made, featuring 800 of the hottest slots and over 50 high-energy table games. Experience award-winning excitement at Valley Chicago. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
But this is lower land along in here for almost anything. I think the smaller ranchers will be interested in your proposition. And I'll talk to them. Put new life in this town, Mr. Harrington.
Another wire for you about Domino, Sheriff. Killed himself another man for breakfast down in Santa's.
Bob Trankers. Number 2.
Yeah. Last month, he wrapped a wooden overcoat around a fella named Hames up in El Paso County. And they say he's got more notches on his gun than anybody.
All right, Harry, don't go blabbing about something you don't know for sure. You better get on back to your clatterbug.
Anyway, our hometown boy's making good in what he set out to do.
I hate to see this happen. But I can't say as I blame Domino.
Everybody in town seems to know who this Domino is, except me.
Well, he left Perdera before you ever settled here.
What is he, an outlaw?
No, he's always a wild kid. More than the rest, I guess, but never real bad. No, I've known him since he was 5. When his folks built the Double Six Ranch in the upper end of the valley.
One with the Domino brand.
Yep. That all belongs to Court Grant now. Well, that's Domino's real name.
He's the only one left?
Yeah. Yeah, after his mother died, Domino went off and joined the Confederates. Left his father all alone on the ranch. During the time he was away fighting, small bands of renegades were raiding and plundering ranches, stealing cattle, selling them to the blue and other grays. That's the whole reason that Domino is a gun hawker right today.
There's no reason big enough to make a man take to the gun.
Well, now, what would you have done if you'd come back from a war to find your ranch half ruined, your cattle all gone, and your father murdered?
I'd have come to see you.
That's what Domino did. The look in his eyes and the way he talked was something terrible. There were 5 men in that raid. I was able to give them the names of 4 of them.
Well, if you knew all this, why didn't you go after him yourself, Sheriff?
I did, as far as my jurisdiction reached. But they got away across the border, and then they split up. Some of them have evidently wandered back. 2 of them are sorry that they did.
Well, how did you find out about these men?
There's a Mexican lad by the name of Juan that was working on Domino's ranch at the time. It's the same boy that's playing the guitar over in Rosita's canteen now. The renegade shot him and left him for dead. But he was able to give me their description. So from the wanted posters, we were able to identify 4 of them. But there was no wanted poster on the 5th one, so we don't know who he is. But Juan would recognize him if you ever saw him again.
Doesn't that make Domino a wanted man? To shoot down even a criminal in cold blood is murder.
There's no murder about it. Up to now, he's killed in defense of his own life. And he's always been very careful.
Well, I have no sympathy for this personal vendetta. But it's a good thing it's kept him away from Perdera.
Why?
He's a killer, no matter how you look at it. And there could never be a place for a man like that in our community. It could only lead to trouble.
Well, he's had plenty of trouble. Up to now, he's been the hunter. But there's still 3 men to go. And it's my guess that they may be doing a little hunting of their own. And Domino don't even know who the 5th man is.
target if I'd been in that bedroll, huh?
I wasn't going to shoot you.
No? Aiming at squirrels, maybe?
No, that was just to keep you from shooting me in case you was to come awake.
Let's have a look at you. Who are you?
Name is Drager.
You working for a man named Ed Sandlin?
You Domino?
That's right.
Then I work for Sandlin. He sent me out here to find you.
Before I found him, huh?
No. When he heard what happened to Haines and Trancas, he figured you'd be picking on him next. But you can't get to him. He's got every road to town covered.
I saw the men. That's why I built that fire, to get one of you over here.
Pretty cagey, aren't you? But no one was to gun you down. Ed ain't like that. He just wanted to get a message to you before you did something that would get yourself killed.
What message?
Well, Ed's an important man now, and he don't hold it against you for what you did to two of the old gang. And he wants you to know he had nothing to do with what happened to your folks. Nothing at all. He's sorry, and he wants to square things with you.
How?
I don't know, but he'll tell you himself. He wants you to ride into town tomorrow and meet him at his saloon.
I got a better idea. I'll ride in tonight with you. I don't know what Sandlin looks like, so you can introduce me.
All right. But you gotta believe what I told you about Ed. He's on the level. He says that until he squares things with you, his soul won't rest.
That's where you're lying.
What do you mean?
Sandlin's got no soul.
Yeah. Ain't sure he'll be here this late. Sandlin usually goes to bed early.
And we'll wake him up. I suppose you go in and find out.
There ain't nothing to be afraid of. I told you how Ed feels.
Well, I'll wait for him here.
Advocate Healthcare makes it simple to get primary care that fits your life.
When he sees I'm not there, I'll be ready for him when he comes out. Give me a quick one, Art. I'm in a hurry.
Stay put.
When you come in.
How about Sandlin?
He ain't here.
Like I said, we're gonna have to roust him out. Get out the other end of the bar and stay there. Sandman!
Rye.
So you're Domino. Glad you got here without making any mistakes.
Mistakes can get a man killed.
You're so right.
You made a big one a couple of years ago.
I admit it. I tried to stop those fellas. That's why I broke with them. Now I want to right things with you, like Drager told you.
That's why I'm here.
Maybe I can help you find Sam Beale.
I know where Beale is. What about the fifth man?
Fifth man?
What's his name?
You're not being polite. Maybe I should tell you something. You're in over your head. Hames and Trankus are amateurs alongside of Sam Beale.
I'll worry about him when we meet. Who's the fifth one?
He was a key man. Murder is his middle name, and he's fast.
Where is he?
Could have gone back to Kansas, I don't know. Or maybe he learned what you've done. Could be he's looking for you right now.
What's he look like?
You'll know him, if you see him, when you see him.
Looks like our business is about over.
It's too bad. Well, here's to your bad luck.
Let's leave it the way it is.
wonder how many of my cattle it took to pay for this. You any idea, Bill?
Who are you? How'd you get in here?
You must have over a dozen investors in this layout. All like me.
I ask you who you are.
Let's get real. No amount of makeup can hide that workout phase. But the protein-packed Orgain you drink helps build strength, so you feel a lot better than you look. I hope. Orgain. It's real nutrition for real life.
Welcome to Reinvented with Accenture.
That's right, Bill. Padera. 6 Ranch. Remember?
Domino.
Well, didn't you know? And I thought you were smarter than Ed Sandlin.
What about Sandlin? You kill him too?
Leaves just you and one more.
You stretched your luck too far this time, Domino.
You seem sure.
I am sure. Even if you're lucky enough to get me, and I doubt that, you'll never get off the ranch.
Let's try it.
Anxious, huh? Let me tell you something, Domino. What I did during the war, I'm not making excuses for, and I'm not sorry for. You squirts from the north and south were blowing bugles and carrying flags. I was making money. That's a good thing I did. After the war, there wasn't a farm left you could grow an ear of corn on. But I got mine, and nobody's going to take it away from me.
A real red-blooded American. You finish?
No. There were plenty of gangs operating during that time. I was just one man and one gang.
That's the one that murdered my father.
When you raid a ranch, Domino, you go after the beef, not the people. You try to stay away from trouble. If you can't stay away from it, someone gets hurt. Now, you call that murder?
What do you call it?
Well, I guess this is the jumping off place.
Looks that way.
Well, it does do something for me, Marie, but I'd hate to name it.
The model goes with it, I'll buy it. What's the matter with it?
She says it's too frilly and silly. No thanks, I'll stick to my old sunbonnet.
Maybe you can do something with her, Mr. Harrington. Bob has been running this office so long, doing a man's work, thinking like a man, acting like a man. She's even beginning to look like one.
I wish you'd look at one.
Like you, Wade?
You don't see any other men around, do you?
What is it about me that attracts a handsome man like you, Mr. Harrington?
Ah, there are things too numerous to mention. I think at first it was the eyes. Tell me, where did you get those great, big, beautiful eyes?
They came with my head.
Well, now that I got you in a mood, what have you worked out?
About what?
About what we've been arguing the past 2 weeks. Shipping costs on wheat. Yours is the only company that can freight it out of here for me.
If and when you do have wheat to carry, the charges will be the same as I told you before.
Don't you want me to make any money?
That's one thing my father taught me when he was running the station. Barbara Ellison, he said, don't ever make a business deal unless you can make some money.
I bet you're a better businessman than he ever was. How about the chance I'm offering you? You could become a shipping magnate. Maybe someday even buy out the company.
But I don't want to buy out the company. I just want a good, steady job.
Do you realize there are thousands of undeveloped acres around here all going to waste simply because the ranchers don't have the capital? All I'm doing is lending them the money for planting and equipment. And I'll buy the wheat and ship it east over those...
Littlefield freighter lines at company prices.
Pass. I'm on my way now to see some new sections. Why don't you leave this rat's nest for a while and ride along with me?
Well,
The stage will be in at 5 o'clock. You'll be back in plenty of time to unhitch the horse.
And that's a thing I can do, too.
Lucky horses.
It's every Saturday.
Maury's. Find it in the freezer aisle.
People everywhere are recommending GoodRx.
My neighbor showed me the app. It helped me save on my kids' allergy pills.
GoodRx can save you a lot of money. Americans everywhere are sharing the savings. So you're all set. Save up to 80% on your prescriptions with GoodRx. Download the free app.
This ranch brings back memories. I used to play here a lot when I was a little girl. My family were friends of the Garans.
Not the best soil in the world, but I still think I'll buy it.
But this place belongs to Domino.
I know. If you'd come back to work it after the war, he might have had an operating by now. Instead, he had to set off on that crazy vengeance campaign.
He did what he felt was right.
You approve of what he's done?
No, but I know Domino, and he'll never sell the double six.
I wasn't planning on buying it from Domino.
What are you trying to say, Wade?
Have you heard from him recently?
He hasn't written since he left last year.
Well, I ran into Sheriff Travers this morning. Domino killed 2 more men of that bunch. Then his luck ran out.
Oh, no, I can't believe that. Nobody could kill Domino.
Well, he's human, isn't he?
But are you sure?
Oh, reasonably so. You see, he was chased by some men. They know they wounded him rather badly. They lost him in the hills, and nobody's seen him since.
But it isn't certain.
Well, even a healthy man couldn't survive in that kind of wild country, and it's been weeks. Barbara, I know you were once Domino's girl. I've rather assumed or hoped for my own sake that it was over, since he took the road he did.
Yes, it's over. We would have been married, but what's the good of talking about it now?
When vengeance consumes a man and becomes the most important thing in his life, it's time he was forgotten.
I think I'll ride back into town.
I was going to stop by the Owens place while I was out here. You want to ride along with me?
No, you go ahead. I'll see you tonight or tomorrow.
Last time we sung that together, you were wearing a calico with a big bow on it.
Domino.
You know, music woke me up. For a minute, I thought it was the old times. Everybody in the parlor and you at the organ.
You told me you were dead, Domino.
No, I couldn't die without seeing you first, could I?
They said you were shot.
Oh, it was nothing. An old sheep herder found me and looked after me until I could travel. Got here sometime this morning. I was so beat I fell in bed with my clothes on.
Domino. It's finished, isn't it? I mean, what you set out to do. It is finished, isn't it? And that's why you're home?
We'll talk about it later.
No, I want to talk about it now. It is finished, isn't it?
I've got one more to go. I don't know what he looks like or anything about him. I came home to see if I could pick up a clue. I've got to finish it, Barbara. I made that promise.
To whom? Your father? He's dead, Domino. Oh, let the law take care of the rest of it.
I waited for the law once, remember?
I thought maybe you'd come home to settle down.
I will. Afterwards. I'll settle down and work the double six just like we planned.
Like we planned? Oh, we never planned this, Domino.
I've got to get that last man.
We never planned that you'd act and talk like a